that separation between the real world and the art world. In my mind, art has always been sacred. I didn't know that there was all this crap being made. I didn't pay attention. I wasn't in the art world. And I don't even feel like I'm in the art world at this point. I just go to my studio and I make my art, and I sell my art. I support my family doing that. And so I don't pay attention to all this media hype. It's bullshit. Who cares? I'm more interested in actually doing this, because this has value to me. And I feel really good doing it. And I'm able to do something that I can give to the community. So what is this difference? You'll notice this sculpture is not on the floor. It's on a pedestal. The paintings that Jacob makes in his academy are in a frame. It's a portal into a different world. And that world is, for me at least, a world of what we can be. It's not this world. It's something to aspire to. So in my work in the studio, when I'm transforming the art, or making the art from the model and transforming it into this, that's what I'm aiming for. Now, I want to talk to you about how I do that. When I look at the model, I have these systems that transform reality or anatomy, the skeleton and the muscles. They're basically moving on spirals. And those spirals are muscles. And I think of each muscle having an insertion and an origin, and then I map it out with my metal tool. And then each of those little forms has a high point. And each high point is expanding. So I don't perceive of the model as having any concavities. Does that make sense? Everything's a convexity. And if everything's a convexity, my perception deals with the sense of becoming larger, expanding. If you've ever seen a corpse or a dead person, it looks like a raisin because the energy's been taken out. There's no internal pressure. It's gone. That's the soul. That's what I'm sculpting. So I'm not mimicking, but I'm looking and translating. So on all these pieces, they're sectioned off into parts. And I work to find each high point of each of these forms. And in so doing, it's specific to an individual. And because it's so specific to an individual, it shows a particular psychology. So I'm not interested in rendering light. I'm interested in showing a human being. And showing a human being at his highest potential, what we can be. That's what this is about. Jim talked about this whole Michelangelo thing and how he was a modernist. Jim's right on the money there. The work that I did prior to Apollo, the forms are about being suppressed. Gravity's at work here. So if you look at Hermes, the hand pushes down. The sternum is not facing up towards the light. The head looks down. If you look at Apollo, the sternum is pointing up. This is the most luminous part of the sculpture. Look at the neck. It's elongated. It's moving in a soaring fashion upwards. That's what I wanted to do. I was tired of doing something that I had been doing for almost 15 years. And it was time to take the next step. So, why do I do this? At this point, there are a lot of reasons, but I did it because it gives me great joy to make art. But now it's more than just that. This is a representation of who we are. Art represents us on a cultural level. I don't want to be represented by poop on canvas or cinder blocks on the floor. And I don't understand it. I never have understood it, and I won't try to understand it. So I brought this group of people here tonight because they have different ways of explaining the political, the historical, but ultimately they all are doing the same thing. They're talking about reaching our potential, about moving upwards. And so I see art as a different world that leads this world. And it's a way of looking about where we should be going. Okay? I was going to field some questions and try to bring this group together. If you have a question, I'm very happy to answer it.